All right, I've got a very interesting video for you guys today. I'm going to cover a number of stocks. We have some very big plays that I made last week, that I called last week, that we fired and hit on all cylinders this morning and hit all of the targets that I gave. Now, I went into a take profit mode. I went into a sell the rip mode because we've got some ominous things on the horizon. We've got the CPI, the PPI data, which might not come out too favorable. Then following that, next Tuesday and Wednesday, we've got the FOMC meeting and we've got the Fed decision. Now, it's possible that all of this could be cooking up to be a bear trap, and it could be cooking up to cause the markets to go right back up to their recent all-time highs. I don't know. I'm going less risk on. I'm taking some risk off the table today, taking some profits on all of these accurate calls from last week. Today's going to be a little bit of a lightning round. I'm going to go over some of my favorite trades, some of my biggest wins. I'm also going to cover some stocks for you guys that I've been getting requests or comments regarding, like Sound and APLD. Now, what you're going to find when I go to cover those is I'm really going to be repeating what I said in the past. But because I got so many requests, I feel like maybe I need to refreshen everyone's memory of what the game plan is on those stocks, because nothing's changed as far as my action plan. I'm going to share with you guys what exactly the charts are saying. We will tighten up some of our support and resistance lines. I'll give you guys a little bit of new data, but really the plan's going to stay the same on those. Guys, this is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for hitting the like. Thanks for saying hi and throwing a heart in the comment. If you want to get these types of daily stock and prediction calls, you got to hit that subscribe, hit the YouTube notification bell while you're at it. Let's just go into the S&P 500. Let's see what's been working today. All right, in a nutshell, we see three of the best stocks that are highlighted in bright green today are three of the stocks that I covered last week that I gave you guys predictions were going to be moving to the upside. One of them, Eli Lilly. I'm going to cover that in just a minute, but it did what I said it would do. It came up and just about hit 600. It hit my target of 597. It went past it. It hit 598. For me, that was a profit-taking scenario. And then we've got Amazon. Man, we called it just this last week, saying that this thing was going to move up to above $140. I made some decisions on Amazon. I'm going to share that with you in just a minute. And then, of course, Tesla, moving like a rocket ship. It got upgraded over by Morgan Stanley. The price targets now become $400 for those guys. They're specifically looking at the Dojo computer, something that I talked with you guys about recently. When I was down in Atlanta, Georgia, I got to hear Kathy Wood's thoughts on Tesla, and specifically the mass amount of data that these guys have been accumulating, and that this is really what's potentially making it an AI play. I'm going to share this little brief video clip with you guys so you can get a perspective of exactly what the Dojo computer is and what it's doing.
During a conference call with analysts, Elon Musk announced the spending of over $1 billion because customers use the driver assistance program Autopilot and other related capabilities like the full self-driving beta. Musk asserts that Tesla has a vast amount of video data. Tesla customers' use of the camera-based driving assistance software, dubbed Autopilot, and a related function known as full self-driving beta that has built up more than 300 million miles of data, has led to Tesla having access to a staggering amount of video, according to Musk. The Verge reported that Tesla already has access to one of the largest and most powerful supercomputers in the world, which is built on NVIDIA GPU technology. On the other hand, Tesla-designed chips are being used to construct the new Dojo supercomputer. What is Dojo? Tesla designed a supercomputer called the Dojo to develop its machine learning and deep learning AI systems. Dojo, then, is a supercomputer created by Tesla to train its neural network algorithms and machine learning models with greater efficiency and speed. Elon Musk asserts that the Dojo supercomputer will be the fastest training supercomputer for artificial intelligence ever created. Now, a lot of data must be used to train AI for it to be effective. In actuality, there is a perfect linear relationship, meaning that the more data an AI system is trained on, the more effective and superior it becomes.
So that's why Morgan Stanley said that they believe that Dojo can add up to $500 billion to Tesla's enterprise value, and it's all going to come down to a faster adoption rate in the mobility, robotax, and network services. These guys are so far ahead of the competition. There is not an EV maker or a legacy automaker that can come anywhere close to doing what Tesla's done. In my view, these guys have a very, very deep and wide moat around their entire business, and every day they're adding crocodiles to that moat. And even though that is super great news, and I made a big buck today on Tesla and I cashed out, I'm still holding some shares, but I cashed out of my call options and I actually took a shot at some put options. I'm going to explain to you why, and I want you to see what I see in the charts, because there is some bullish and some bearish things there, and it's had an incredible run up, and Tesla does that. It runs up and then it pulls back down. It really trades the top and bottom of its range almost every other day. And so I think that as we've run up, we're going to pull back. But we got to ask ourselves, is this setting up for a bull or bear trap? I think the technicals are going to tell us whether or not in this moment that we're going to push back up above 315 and make a new local high, or whether we're going to pull back some more. We're going to go into the charts to figure that out. Let's check it out. All right, guys, this is the same chart that I showed you guys over the course of the last week. And here's one of the things that I want to remind you of. We previously, after Tesla had made its big push up from $101 and it went all the way up to around $215 in the beginning of this year, it then pulled back pretty dramatically, and then it gave us this flag shape, right? And I told you guys that we had done something very similar. We finally came back and made this support level, and we shot all the way back up, this time hitting $300, pulling back, but we did not come back and we did not hit this critical support. So just think about that for a minute. Hold off on that. We're going to come back to that. But we did go back up and we made a very similar flag pattern. And just on Friday, even though we hit the top of that flag pattern and we sold off, right? I said to you guys, I'm leaning bullish. I think this thing could easily break above its pattern next. What I would have liked to have seen would have been a little bit of a back test of it and then a rocket ship higher, but it just shot way up above, somewhat similar to what it did here in the past. The last time it gave us a back test and then it took off. This time it just took straight off. So Tesla's, of course, moving even faster. Now, the reason why I'm considering going short on this is because we are following a similar pattern and we never did hit our historic ascending support line. And so we know that we're still in the month of September and the first week of October, which is typically pretty volatile, right? We're expecting volatility with the CPI, the PPI, and the Fed rate decision. We have no idea what he's going to do. And so this could be setting up for a move back down that ultimately will come back and bounce off of this ascending line and then give us a much larger push up all the way to that 315 level, a little bit further into maybe late October or early November or December. Now, here's one more thing that I want to point out to you guys, but I got to clean up my entire chart to show it to you guys. All right, and that's the fact that we have forming a somewhat ominous head and shoulders pattern. So let's go ahead and draw this out. Right around the $240 level, we've got our first shoulder, right? We came back and touched it a second time. Then we made a nice little high, came up to $299. That's our head. Then we came back, right? Now we are moving back up. Now here's the thing. If we come up to this 276 and we get rejected today, then that would be the other shoulder and it would bring us all the way back to an expected touch right around 240. And so we do have the potential of a head and shoulders pattern there. I ultimately think that we're going to come back and touch this ascending line, and it does look to me that it's somewhere around 230. All of this is the type of charting that other analysts see and they begin to plan for. And so one of the other scenarios that could be taking place is that this could be setting up for a bear trap. A lot of other people that are looking at this potential forming head and shoulders pattern at the 276 level might be piling in short right here with the expectation of a move down to 240. And that's the type of scenario that if the buying volume were to increase, this could push us all the way up above 300, sort of a 50-50 scenario. Let me take a very quick station break for the Moomoo Investment app. If you need better trade tools right now in the United States, they're offering up to 16 free stock as well as a $50 cash bonus. It's available in the US, Australia, and Canada, but you have to click on the link to get the specific offer that's available for you. I'm going to leave that link in the top pinned comment as well as the description of this video. And if you've been following this page, you know that I have a free chat group on the app. Once you get your free stock and you start investing, you can come find our free chat group. It's under chats titled Stock Josh Fam. Come over there and join us. We can talk about stocks and crypto each and every day. It's a great community. All right, let's cover APLD and Sound. I want to point these things out to you guys in the chart. I pointed this out before. This was exactly the same chart that I showed you guys in the past. I told you at that time that key support was at $5.69. And I said that if we broke beneath $5.69, that we would go down to $4.40. Now, then we had a super bearish engulfing candle on August 24th, which was another confirmation after the last bounce off of 569 that we were going to begin to go down. Then we broke a historic support trend line that had begun back in March. And since then, we broke out underneath my descending parallel channel. And so all four of these technical actions were bearish. But none of this was a surprise to me because the last large position that I was in on APLD, I got stop lossed out around $9.10 if I recall. And since then, after it dropped back into the low $6 range, I began to put it on my reaccumulation as a daily $50 purchase. And I've been doing that ever since. So I'm slowly accumulating this zone, knowing that it was going to potentially go down to $4.40. Now, we have no way of knowing for certain how low it's going to go. There's very strong support at $5. If we were to break beneath and close beneath the $4.90 range, then it likely would be confirmation that we could go as low as $3.85. And I'm just simply going to accumulate this zone. And I had explained that all these guys need, first of all, the company is completely relevant. We're still in an AI phase. All these guys need is another big contract for them to close. And this thing is going to literally overnight go back up to $9, $10, even $11 range. But let's get really specific. Here's what you guys need to know about the charts moving forward. If you guys want to be more precise and you want to do any lump sum buying, you need to watch that $5 level. If the $5 level gets broken, then the best place of entry is going to be right below $4, somewhere between $3.85 and $4. That's where I would consider a lump sum buy. APLD is simply testing its lowest ranges. And I'll just leave you with this thought regarding APLD. If you do not buy at this level, don't consider buying it at any time once it breaks back above $7. This is the time frame to consider to get into these types of plays. All right, let's go over the sound chart. Now, I'm more neutral on sound than I am APLD. And you might say, well, Josh, why are you more neutral on sound? Simply because of what the chart's showing me. APLD actually has better technicals from my point of view. Sound, it's about 50-50. So I see good and I see bad. I've told you guys in a previous video that for me to remain bullish and for me to imagine that we're going to push up to the $3 range over the course of the next couple weeks, it had to stay above $2.35, which it failed to do. And so now we're back beneath $2.35 and we're going to be retesting the lower range. I want to point out to you guys that in this scenario, support is back at $2.11. So keep that in mind. Now, in particular, I'm not selling mine. I probably would unload mine if it dropped beneath $2. I would get out. At the moment, I have around 1,000 shares and I'm simply going to hold it and possibly ramp up and increase my position if it begins to move up. But here's a bullish thought that I want to share with you guys regarding sound. The Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives covered this and said that these guys were well positioned right now in the AI space to take advantage of growth. Remember, I pointed out to you guys that they did have 40% year-over-year growth in their last quarter. Now, Daniel Ives has given a price target of around $7, which seems very realistic to me. I think that SoundHound is going to have some violent swings. We're now kind of accumulating at the lower range of the price. It could break down. And this is the other big point I want to make to you guys. Small cap stocks, small position size. That's why I only have 1,000 shares. If we begin to get some momentum and we begin to push higher, it would be extremely easy for me to drop some money into SoundHound. At the moment, I'm just going to sit with my shares and watch it and see how it performs. It's a stock of interest. It absolutely has the potential of moving up to $7. All right, the last stock that I'm going to cover today is Eli Lilly. This has been a huge winner, guys, and we had two beautiful candles. The last time I covered it, I told you that it was definitely going to move up to $600. We saw that today. It went up to $598, and my target, my specific take profit target was $597, and I took profit. Now, again, why did I take profit? It's because of the macro environment. It's because we're still in September. We've got these data points. We've got the Fed ahead of us. And I'm just taking some of my gains. I can always re-enter on the pullback. And I'm going to give you guys where potentially Eli Lilly could pull back to. It's got some support at $594, but an area that would be more attractive would be a pullback to $562. One of the main things that I want to point out to you guys is something in the RSI, which was another reason why I took some profits today. Let me show that to you guys so you can see it with your own eyes. Gotten to around the 84% level, and every single time in the past that Eli Lilly has gotten up to this 84% overbought level, that was a time frame in which it pulled back, typically after the second time that it hit it. And you can see that we've hit it twice now in recent days. Back here, we hit it twice. On the second time that we hit it, we got a decent pullback of around 30 bucks. And so that's kind of what I'm expecting right now. I'm expecting on this second hit of the 84% on the RSI, I'm expecting a reasonable pullback right down to the 565 and a potential bounce up to 615. That's exactly how I'm watching Eli Lilly. All right, guys, I'm making these calls in the Discord, in the Patreon. There's a link for that if you guys want to get the calls when I get in or out of these positions, as well as get some of my thoughts on the market sooner and quicker. That's available in the Patreon. I'm also going to continue to provide some support to the Moo chat. I'm going to get over there today and spend a little bit of time answering some questions. Again, thank you guys for hitting the like. I appreciate all the likes that I get. It helps the algorithm. If you like this content and you want to get these types of calls, you want to follow me on my trade journey when I'm getting in and out of these fast-moving stocks, you got to hit the subscribe and the YouTube all notification bell. Guys, let me know about some of your wins today. I know that if you have been following me and if you followed this page, you've got some wins, whether it's Eli Lilly, Tesla, or Amazon. These are all some of my biggest plays. Let me know how you did with some of these plays. Let me know in the comment section. As always, peace and blessings. We'll talk to you soon.